Good day. I'm West Carrollton Mayor Jeff Sanner. On behalf of my 2020 City Council colleagues, Deputy Mayor Amanda Zenny, and Council members Angie Fryman, Leanne Nash, Harold Robinson, Rick Barnhart, and Jill Tomlin, we welcome you to 2021 as we take a look back at 2020 in the city of West Carrollton. We are certainly living in an unprecedented time, a time of uncertainty, and with that uncertainty, both cooperation and compassion become a part of our journey. Together, we have adjusted our lifestyles, working habits, travel plans, and the way we learn. All the while, so many in our community have continued making positive and generous contributions that make this city a better place. Last year, more than 40 people volunteered their time to serve on a city board or committee. We also had a number of our community help neighbors in many ways, from chaplains for the police and fire departments, to coaching a youth sports team, to helping at one of the events we were able to safely hold. A thriving community requires active civic engagement, and our volunteers are absolutely essential. I hope that many of you had the opportunity to watch a city council meeting on our cable channel, or maybe you keep up with city events via our website and Facebook pages. We make every effort to keep our residents informed about all aspects of city business through multiple outlets, including news releases posted on the city's website, as well as posts on the city Facebook pages. 4 quarterly newsletters are mailed to our residents and posted on our website each year. We currently have over 800 subscribers that receive email updates, which is a great way to hear about upcoming events and important city information in a timely manner. City staff were part of the Montgomery County Census Committee, which was chartered to promote census participation at the local level. The census helps shape many different aspects of every community, no matter the size, no matter the location. We want to thank our residents for participating in the 2020 census. 73% of you completed the questionnaire, which was more than any previous year to date. The city's budget was impacted by the pandemic. The city's largest revenue stream, income tax, declined by 8%. We balanced the budget with a combination of CARES Act funds and budget cuts across all departments. It was through a tremendous team effort of our residents, businesses, and employees that we achieved this goal. For the year 2020, the city's budgetary allocations were slightly different, as approximately 77%, up from the typical 70%, was used to fund our police and fire departments, who provide you, our citizens, with the level of public safety you expect and deserve. About 8% of the budget was allocated for general government costs, 8% for community planning and development, and 7% for maintaining the city's infrastructure and parks. We are approaching 2021 with cautious optimism and hope to see some economic recovery this year. As always, we monitor our physical situation and make adjustments accordingly to protect public funds and interests. The health, safety, and welfare of our community is our number one priority as we navigate the current climate and responses to the pandemic. We work to provide the very best services to our residents while also promoting economic development and thinking about how we can make things better for you, the citizens of West Carrollton. As mentioned, 2020 was a unique and challenging year, especially for the men and women of the West Carrollton Police Department. Events that occurred on both the national and state levels had significant impact on the daily operation of the department. These events put officers into unfamiliar roles as it forced them to navigate uncharted territory. The department responded to the pandemic by instituting several safety protocols to keep our personnel and the public safe. Some of the safety measures included limiting public access to our facility and taking more reports over the phone when possible, reducing personal contact with the department by suspending some training and modifying work schedules, distributing personal protective equipment to all personnel, frequently sanitizing facilities and department vehicles, and reducing contact with the public through social distancing and suspending community outreach programs, including the Citizens Police Academy. The department always remains vigilant and committed to providing the safest and most effective law enforcement services to our community. Over the course of 2020, our officers responded to approximately 13,000 calls of service. There was a 24% decrease of Part 1 crimes, those that include assault, burglary, robbery, homicide, sexual assault, and auto theft. The number of non-injury traffic accidents decreased by 18%, while accidents that unfortunately resulted in injury decreased by 16%, both of which can be partially attributed to the pandemic. The local Masonic Temple was given the Citizens Recognition Award for their Caretakers Christmas program. Members of the Masonic Temple have been providing meals to those that work on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day for 25 years. Fostering community relationships continues to be the goal of many of the programs that our police department conducts annually. Unfortunately, almost all of our community outreach programs were temporarily suspended. Last year, however, the police department, along with several area departments, participated in the Shop with a Hero program in December. The department selects several children from our community and takes them shopping for presents, which is a treat not only for the kids, but for our officers too. Most of the officers will tell you that being able to bring a smile to the children and parents is the best part of the event. The West Carrollton Police Department takes great pride in the level of service that they provide to the community last year and look forward to continuing that mission in 2021. Our West Carrollton Fire Department is a full-service department with the responsibility of responding to and mitigating incidents involving fires, medical emergencies, hazardous materials, and technical rescues. We currently have a staff of 20 part-time and 9 career personnel. In 2020, 75% of the 2,300 emergency response calls for service were EMS related. The remaining calls included 40 structure fires that resulted in over $970,000 worth of losses within the city. Each year, the workload of our first responders grows. As the world struggles to contain the spread of the coronavirus, our firefighters have had to alter how they interact with the public. Dealing with the postponement of public events, adapting to firefighters who were exposed to the coronavirus, and responding to calls that involve coronavirus were and continue to be a challenge. On a brighter note, you, the citizens, overwhelmingly approved a property tax levy that will fund the hiring of 4 additional full-time firefighter paramedics. The members of the West Carrollton Fire Department are humbled by the trust and support of our community. We know this was not an easy decision during these uncertain times, but we pledge to use these funds wisely so we can continue to provide the highest level of service to our citizens. We expect to have the new firefighters, paramedics appointed in early 2021. Our Fire Prevention Division task is to help prevent fires and reduce the impact of fires that do occur. To do this, the division performs inspections of businesses and large commercial and residential structures as mandated by state and local ordinances and the city's building codes. The fire department works in conjunction with the planning department to ensure that new construction meets the minimum fire safety requirements. Last year, the division inspected 114 buildings, reviewed 76 building plans, and issued 29 certificates of occupancy in the city. In July of 2020, firefighter Josh Whitehead was named the Ohio Fire Prevention Educator of the Year by the Ohio Division of Emergency Medical Services. Firefighter Whitehead has been with us for 12 years and has earned a reputation as a role model in fire prevention education in the community. The fire department is committed to the mission of dedicated professionals providing exceptional service to the community and encourage you to get involved in helping reduce risk in our community. You can make a difference by preparing early, before a possible emergency. Installing smoke and carbon monoxide alarms in your home is one way to prepare and to protect your family. We would like to thank the community for your continued involvement and support. Yearly events locally and around the world have been canceled. We are asked to wear face coverings in many public settings, and many of us have not been able to hug or see our friends and loved ones. While we may be inconvenienced by this strict but necessary social distancing guidelines, quarantines, and masking requirements, the city has been able to provide a number of modified events, allowing our residents to engage with others in different ways. The city's Parks and Recreation Department was only able to host a few of our popular events in 2020, including January's painting party and the fall's annual Sniff a Treat and Rake Rally. However, they were able to give the community several new virtual and socially distanced programs. A couple of the new events included learning how to tap a maple tree and educating kids about raptors. One of our most popular events was the pumpkin pickup, where almost 400 pumpkin and goodie bags were handed out, drive-through style, to kids. The Gingerbread house decorating contest submissions were seen by over 8,000 people on social media. And residents got creative with 2 seasonal home decorating contests to light up the city for Halloween and the holidays. Last spring, the city received its 31st consecutive Tree City Award. Park staff maintain approximately 300 trees each year. Pruning, removing, planting, watering, and mulching are all part of the yearly tree program, as well as the planting of 40 trees around the city in 2020. The city also has a community garden located next to the senior center, where 16 residents harvested a plot growing vegetables and flowers. The pandemic undoubtedly changed the way every business did business in 2020. Thankfully, West Carrollton's businesses generally fared well during the pandemic. Given the high concentration of manufacturing and service-related businesses in the community, coupled with the fact that these particular sectors adapted well to the challenges, we remain optimistic about a continued development in the city as we look toward the future. I would ask that every citizen remember our local restaurants when dining out or ordering carryout, as restaurants have been particularly hard hit this last year. We welcomed 7 new small businesses to West Carrollton and saw several new manufacturers make West Carrollton their home in 2020. Plug Power Incorporated and Crown Packaging Corporation both entered into leases for significant space in the Alex Road Business Park. Misumi USA opened their new state-of-the-art logistics distribution facility in 2020, making their investment in West Carrollton over $16 million to date. We are excited to welcome all our new businesses and are grateful for the investment made in our community. Looking ahead to 2021, we remain committed to completing the build-out of the Carrollton Center area and creating a viable development plan for city-owned properties at Exit 47 and Dixie Drive. While monitoring economic development this year, we have been able to continue to work on a number of important improvements throughout the community. The Planning and Community Development Department completed the 4th year of the Residential Rental Registration and Education Program. Of the 912 rental properties in the city, 98% have registered for the program, an increase of over 3% from the previous year. Code enforcement staff inspects and issues code violations, if discovered, at these rental properties. We appreciate the landlords that continue to address code violations both prior to and after the inspections. Code enforcement staff complemented other neighborhood preservation efforts with proactive enforcement of property maintenance and zoning regulations, all aimed at maintaining and creating a positive impact on neighborhood property values. Staff resolved approximately 1,500 property maintenance and 600 zoning violations in 2020. Additionally, the Property Maintenance Code was updated to better establish minimum requirements for the maintenance of existing buildings through clear and specific maintenance and improvement standards. A new Public Nuisance Code was adopted to address current issues that affect the public health, safety, welfare, and property values of the community. A total of 380 permits to alter commercial, industrial, and residential buildings were issued in 2020, representing a total construction cost of about $6.8 million. Significant projects, including the completion of the new distribution facility at Misumi, USA, completion of the Miami Valley Sand Volleyball Complex, and approval and preliminary work of the West Carrollton School District's pre-kindergarten to first grade building. Crown Packaging Corporation, International Gold Star Products, and the West Carrollton Dental Lab moved into new spaces. and approval for a new Valvoline instant oil change and renovation of McDonald's rounded out the list of commercial projects that moved ahead last year. The Carrollton Center project design and construction drawings were finalized for streetscaping improvements on North Elm Street. Underground electric line and above-ground electric conduits were installed for future event programming, and existing trees were removed in anticipation of new tree plantings. The project will be completed in 2021 and is partially funded by a grant from Montgomery County. The conceptual design plans for streetscaping along Central Avenue and Dixie Drive were completed, and a new streetscaping prototype was developed and will be implemented at 2 locations on the northwest side of the city on Springboro Pike. To facilitate the ability of mobile food vendors to do business in the city, amendments to city ordinances were adopted to relax regulations and reduce fees for this increasingly popular market. Additionally, the city has been recertified as a Class 8 community in FEMA's community rating system, which qualifies property owners in the special flood hazard areas for a 10% discount on flood insurance premiums. The city service department also strives to maintain property values by providing high-quality water and sewer service, prompt snow and ice removal, effective household refuse removal, and top-notch engineering projects. As it does each year, the Street Maintenance Division made repairs to our streets, performed quarterly large trash collections, maintained traffic control signs, kept the streets free of debris, and picked up the leaves for us over the course of the 9 weeks in the fall. The Refuse Division collected over 4,400 tons of household debris, while the recycling contractor removed over 450 tons of materials. In addition to normal refuse collections, crews collected bulk items, scrap metal and tires, old paint cans, used oil, and appliances during the quarterly large trash pickups at no extra cost to the residents. The Water and Wastewater Divisions perform daily monitoring and control of the treatment and pumping operations, along with immediate response to emergency situations. For example, crews often work into the night as water main breaks were promptly repaired. Water mains are flushed and fire hydrants are regularly tested to ensure they are functioning properly, while sanitary sewers are cleaned on a 3-year cycle to minimize sewer stoppages. Do you know the extent of water treatment operations in our city? In 2020, the water treatment plant produced 470 million gallons of water and treated 91 million gallons of wastewater through the softening process, while the wastewater treatment plant treated 491 million gallons of wastewater. Daily service department operations are always a priority. However, major infrastructure improvement projects were also an important part of 2020. These included the replacement of the Elm Street Bridge, construction of a new larger water main on North Elm Street, and the wastewater plant upgrade key system components to keep our cleaning and disinfecting process in compliance. Other projects initially planned for 2020 that are expected to continue this year include completing the 2020 curb and sidewalk repair program, continuing the annual asphalt repaving program, resurfacing West Central from the wastewater treatment plant to Miami Avenue, completing the design of the Door Lane roadway construction, replacing both sets of membrane filters at the water treatment plant, completing the design for the Maple Hill Drive water main replacement project, and beginning the design development of a new water well to increase groundwater production for the city. This past year, the city saw the retirement of 4 valued employees, from the city manager's office to the finance department and the planning department to the refuse division. We thank them for their contribution to the city and the citizens we serve, and wish them the best in their well-deserved retirement. Those retirements set in motion multiple personnel changes across the departments. We welcome new staff to the city as well as internal staff to new positions. In addition to adding 4 full-time firefighter paramedics, the police department has also been busy hiring police officers to fill vacant positions. We are excited about all the new faces and welcome them to the city. The City of West Carrollton's accomplishments in a difficult and challenging year are made possible through the teamwork and efforts of our employees. City Council and the staff agree that one of the city's greatest achievements is that we deliver outstanding services in a financially responsible manner to all of our citizens. We strive to provide transparent communication and multiple opportunities to stay informed and involved in your community. We encourage you to continue to be active participants in local events and to learn about local government. We are always here to answer your questions. Please remember, your actions each day make a difference in how this pandemic affects our community. I know we have good people doing good things, and we are grateful that the community has come together to help others and be resilient during 2020. It's our wish for you to continue to be good to yourself, your family, your friends, and your neighbors. Thank you, citizens of West Carrollton, for helping keep us all strong economically, mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching, and have a wonderful day.